Hey everyone, welcome back to 3D6 Down the Line. This is episode 75 of the Halls of Arden Vul Megadungeon by Richard Barton, using the old school essential system by Necrotic Gnome. We are 3D6 Down the Line, the most criminally underwatched actual play series on the internet. My name is John. I am the referee for the evening. Tonight we do actually have a full house. Mike is taking care of a little bit of a child emergency at the moment, but he will be returning soon. But going around the horn, we have
Hi, I'm David. I'm playing Upior, the second level magic user.
I'm Matt. Tonight I'm playing Auricios of Epirenus, the 7th level cleric, left hand of Lycia, and Mummy Buster.
Nice. Hi, everybody. I'm Ted. Tonight I'll be playing Titus Valerius, half elf, all man.
All right. So we are picking up in media res. The Upior and Breggy Black Hood pop into existence just like that. They've always been there. Look how that works.
Hey,
pretty.
welcome.
I know. I'm real slave to verisimilitude. There's okay. So you guys are in the tomb of Ptoh-Ristus, who is the famed one of the famed companions of Arden and Vul, a devout zealot of a high-ranking priest of Thoth in the before times, before the Archontian conquest, before Marius Tricotor, before Adrianic, before anyone famous. There was Ptoh-Ristus along with Arden and Vul. And you have found his true tomb after navigating through a series of false entrances and lures and whatnot and traps. After fighting a battle with some mummies that appeared to may have been lesser functionaries or something like that were buried with Ptoh-Ristus, you are now quiet in this long forgotten chamber with dust all around after the fight, breathing heavily and observing and casting your gaze upon the wealth of treasure within the tomb. However, of more immediate concern is the fact that both Samantha the Red and Lisbeth Cormac were raked by the disgusting claws of the mummies and are now suffering from mummy rot, as you can actually see the skin on their legs separating and bubbling, and it's slowly, like, it's really red and puffy around those wounds where it happened, and you can see that they're it's not measurable, like you can't actually see it spread, but just generally around the wound you see that the flesh is necrotizing. So it's starting to turn like gray right around the exactly where the wound is, and they do not feel good. They're perfectly capable, like they can do everything that they normally could, but they know that they've got something really, really bad.
This is not great. How many? I know both of them got hit. How many hit points down is Sam? I'm worried about Sam.
She took 5 points of damage out of a total of, she normally has 10, so she's at half.
Okay. Not great. Real quick, John, I'm assuming like these guys, this is new. This is not something, oh yeah, mummy rod. Like people don't know what this is other than this is just nasty business.
Yeah, I mean,
right.
Like they just feel awful, and they're looking at those horrible wounds and freaking out.
So, Auricios, seeing, because Lisbeth took some damage, not that much though. She's not that hurt, and Sam has a much bigger percentage of her hit points down. So, Av would want to try a casting of Cure Light Wounds on her to see if that can help.
Okay.
So he's going to go and burn the spell, burn the slots. It's just one. So that's 2 points of healing, if it works.
So
on Sam or on Elizabeth?
On Sam.
On Sam.
Yeah.
Okay. So she's now at 7.
He thinks Elizabeth would understand.
One moment.
Okay.
So so you cast Cure Light Wounds on Sam. You did it on Sam or Elizabeth? Sorry.
On Sam.
On Sam, yeah. The magic seems to work. Like you're able to conjure the magic and channel it into her. However, it does not seem to have any sort of effect on her.
Ooh, okay.
And she looks just as surprised.
Okay, I was worried about that, but there was only one way to really know for sure. So that stinks. Okay.
When you say no effect, you mean no effect at all, or no effect on the plot?
No effect at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
So I forgot to mention the time. It's the 9th of Gelenius. It's about 11 a.m. in the morning. The light the light that is being cast right now is from Avaricios using continual light. So it's basically shining right around the major large sarcophagus right now. You know that off in the distance to either side is actually right at the edge of the torchlight of the continual light. You have one decapitated mummy right basically at your feet. And then you have the smell of the burned one that's to the south. There does not appear to be any egress that you can see, except for the one that you actually entered in from the east. Remember, the floors here are all flagstones, 5x5 flagstones, but they're white marble, which is the first time you've ever seen anything like this. So it's a very bright room. And you don't forget, now that you have Upior, that there was an inscription on the eastern end of the sarcophagus that you could not read except for the obvious name of Ptoh-Ristus and the obvious name of Thoth, that is in Mithric. And you have the statues, right? So you're still, it's kind of a little bit weird. We're kind of disassociating a little bit, but the statues are still trying to get to you. So you've got you've got Elizabeth holding Jachin's bones out, right? But the statues are still sort of pressing up against that bubble, right? Of the protection.
right.
So it's a little bit odd. We have to keep in mind that there's actually some aggressive combatants that are actually still trying to get to you. You know?
We give it a little neener as from inside the thing.
Yeah.
So now that Upior's here, my friend, you were oddly quiet while we were looking at this. Maybe you could help us with a little bit of translation work.
Well, I was hoping that the learned types, you're obviously capable of parsing language of the sort on your own, but unfortunately I'll have to do it, I guess. John, can I read it and see?
Yeah, so the sarcophagus is really big. It's made out of polished black basalt, so it really contrasts with the floor itself. On the eastern end, so the end that's actually facing out towards the antechamber, is the inscription in Mithric that says, Ptoh-Ristus, servant of the Lord Thoth, knower of secrets and founder of these halls.
That's a critical bit of information. Nice.
Okay, so inside there is a the body of Ptoh-Ristus is wearing that golden face mask. It looks like Mordred's mask from Excalibur. There are numerous miniature models representing mundane and magical items of significance to him, although you gather that taken as they are as a whole, they wouldn't be worth more than 20 GP total, unless you can convince a buyer of its provenance, in which case it would be very valuable. There's a whole bunch of like just random stuff. The one thing that's notable though is this miniature chair, which is actually like a perfectly sized, a perfect replica, but tiny, of like an easy chair, like a overstuffed, relaxing chair that's just sort of amidst all that stuff. It's very weird. And there was 25 ancient silver pennies, 30 solidi, and 12 in the big hall. There was some golden barrels, not oak barrels, but the gem barrel. 12 golden barrels worth 1,000 gold each.
Yes. And those wouldn't be like non-encumbering because they're jewel size.
That's
Is that correct?
Yeah, even better.
Nice. Mm-hmm. Yes.
So if you want the silver is worth 25 modern GP and would take up 2 slots. The solidi would be worth 300 gold, and they would take up 3 slots because they're solidi. Okay.
All right.
I will say
what
that
page number should we put for this stuff, John?
This is page 184.
Thank you.
I think I just want to rule that before you get too crazy with like talking amongst each other and divvying up treasure and all that kind of stuff, I do think that just having those statues continually battering against your 10-foot globe is just too distracting to get anything worthwhile done. I think you do have to resolve that in some way, shape, or form before you can actually do anything that takes like complex thought. You know what I mean? Like it just doesn't make sense. That you're just sitting there like kind of talking about Ptoh-Ristus and what does the mass do, and these guys are just like bang bang bang.
That's fair. So John, are they still kind of with Avaricios and his Thoth holy symbol out? Are they still ignoring him?
Yes, they are
But they're
ignoring
just
him. Yeah.
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so you're free
Guys,
to move around.
What do you think if the group as a whole kind of moves back down into the hallway so that these guys can calm down, and then since they're ignoring and not attacking me, I could put the loot into the Laryl's bag, and I guess I can't bring it out because it takes 2 hands to carry, but I could then go swap out and let somebody else take the amulet to pick that up.
Yeah, unless Upior's got an amulet on him, that makes sense. Or a holy symbol, I mean.
I do not. I mean, I have let me see. I won't never say never.
Mark carries one, but I don't. I never gave one to Titus.
I don't have one.
Okay,
so yeah, I mean that makes sense to me. I mean, would Jacobus's vestments have any similar effect? Do you think, John? Holy robes?
Not in the past. They haven't. It's really
okay.
all
Then
been,
it won't matter.
I mean, you never know, but in the past, it's always been the holy symbol.
Okay. I mean, I've been wearing these this whole time, but I will. Yeah, I mean, Matt, that makes perfect sense to me. I see no reason not to.
Plus, it's gold, shiny stuff. What's the worst that could happen if you just reach down and grab it?
Exactly.
Nothing. There's no downside to this.
You see Trefko. Trefko's like really annoyed that he's like he's in that 10-foot bubble, but he doesn't like to be there because he's like really too close to you guys, and you see he's like he's like huffing and puffing and like glaring at the statues like he just wants to like snap their stone heads off. You know what I mean?
Why don't we let him?
You could probably do it.
There's Mike. Everyone say hi to Mike.
Hey, Mike.
Mike, who are you playing tonight?
You're on mute.
You're muted.
You're on mute. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Mike. Tonight I'll be playing Breggy, the Forgotten. As long as Matt is playing Av, then I'll play Breggy.
All right.
Yeah, we're all good.
Okay, so so you guys all retreat down into the antechamber, except for Avaricios.
This makes sense to me. Yeah.
Okay.
If I followed you.
All right, so I'm going to say a turn happens with the Cure Light Wounds and reading the inscription. Everyone moves back. Trefko's really super pissed off. And Avaricios, you can see as the party steps back into the antechamber, the statues turn to follow them. And then as the last person steps through, probably Trefko, they climb back up onto their pedestals and put their spears back into position, into the default position they were before. And everything is quiet.
Cool. All right. I'm assuming that mask is, regular kind of humanish size.
Mm-hmm.
So that, along with the coins and jewels and stuff, he would just place into the Laryl sack because he can.
Okay. And are you taking the nominally non-valuable things as well?
Guys, do you think I should? I was thinking about just leaving those models. Or what do you think? Should we take them?
I think you should leave them so that Ptoh-Ristus still has furniture in the afterlife.
Okay. Yeah.
I guess I was thinking the opposite. I was like, you're using Laurel's sack anyway. There's no encumbrance issue for taking it. What if we find out later on that the little stuffed armchair is a magical stuffed armchair of like +2 comfort or something?
I was definitely taking the chair, right? I was definitely taking that. Like the mask in the chair and the obvious loot I'm taking.
Sure.
So as far as the mask goes, apologies if I missed this. Did anyone try to put it on?
No, we've just now picked it up. No one's touched it yet.
So Frauder,
does anyone want to try to put it on?
When you pick it up, Avaricios, it doesn't come without resistance, right? So it's a little bit of a gruesome task, a little bit morbid. It also feels, I mean, you're a professional tomb robber, so you get over it, but the weight of who this is and who you're fucking with is not lost upon you as you do this. When you try to carefully remove the mask from the head, it eventually comes off, and the head is mummified as well, or I should say, it's mummified and wrapped. So you're not looking at some horrible visage underneath, right? It's like it's cleanly wrapped around.
Okay.
But yeah.
Yeah. Is there anything underneath the body? Like if I'm imagining these kind of models all around him, but if I kind of like run my hand and kind of feel underneath the body, do I feel anything?
Also a very awful task. But you do not. He is resting on a stone bier that is inside the sarcophagus. That is actually just the length of his actual body, right? So it's a little bit raised up in the actual sarcophagus itself. Yeah.
So in ancient Egyptian tombs, it was common for there to be inscriptions inside the tomb, the sarcophagus as well. Is there any hieroglyphs or writing or pictograms or any kind in there?
Scratches on the inside.
Scratches on the inside of the lid. Yeah, you got it.
There is not inside the sarcophagus. I should say for Mike and David, as far as art goes, though, on the western wall there are 3 colossal images. Ptoh-Ristus in the center seemed depicted as being the most important, and Arden and Vul on either side of him, looking upon him with like friendship and approval.
So I will say that we've had a lot of success in finding items inside bodies that were mummified and in sarcophagus. We found all kinds of cool stuff in there. So
yeah,
metal detector, I guess.
I don't mind checking if you don't want to do Avaricios. That's what I was going to do when you pass that amulet over.
Let's see. So his face is all wrapped up, right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Ooh boy, do I do in there? Do I look inside? Do I look inside?
Also common to wrap things inside a mummy, scarabs and ushabti and things inside the.
Yeah, you know what? We've already defiled him. We've already done in for a penny, in for a pound.
Let Upior do it. He's got 2 hands.
Do you want to do it, Upior? Do you want to do it?
I do want to do it. Of course I do. But I'm very happy to see you do it. But you are level 7 for what it's worth.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah. All right. You know what? He's gonna like unwrap the face. He wants to see the face.
Okay. Yeah. You unwrap the face. It is very unpleasant. It looks like the mummification job was done correctly. So it's like basically walnut brown, tight skin. It's, it looks more skull than skin, that sort of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Anything in the mouth or in the eyes?
Nope.
Let's split that pinata open, man.
We are definitely tomb robbers.
We need to check for the organs. Yes, we do have to actually check within.
Check for the organs. Oh, you guys are the worst. Okay.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
No, yes,
we jars here.
I know, and baby, exactly. Are you sure you don't want me to come in and help? You want to throw that medallion and close the door?
I've got this. Last episode, he disappointed Lysion, and now he's going to show him that it's not these other people, it's him. He's going to he's going to do it. He's going to check in the cavity. Does he even have anything sharp? He doesn't even have anything sharp. He's going to just have to push in. Oh, his hook. Yeah, he can use his hook.
Okay.
Yes.
God.
So you brutally dissect this this hero of the realm.
Oh,
well done. And for your efforts, you find nothing except what would normally be inside of a mummy.
Okay, all right. I'm gonna kindly
I can't believe you did that to him, man. You did that to him for no reason.
Hold on,
say a little prayer to Lysion. Please, please give him the rest that I might have disturbed just a little bit with, good intentions, towards myself.
So,
important question, though. Important question here.
yeah.
As we were angling at, his organs should be absent. Are they?
It doesn't say.
Okay.
There's nothing of interest in the mummy. I can just clarify.
Okay.
Except my own my own downfall. All right, so
grab a finger bone, Matt. Grab a finger bone. We're gonna resurrect this dude.
I've got a finger bone for you.
Oh my god!
All right, so the collecting the treasure and thoroughly defiling a hero of the realm took a turn.
Oh,
I like how you repeat that, John, to make it really sting.
A hero to whom, I ask? A hero to whom?
All right, I do want to check the body of the mummy and the northern sarcophagus too, just to see if there's anything in there.
Okay, so you head up over there to the north. So these are white marble sarcophagi, so they actually blend in with the floor, unlike the black basalt of Ptoh-Ristus's. They lack any decoration except for a generic stylized image of a priest that's lightly incised on the lid. Although, actually, I should say that lid is basically broken now when they burst out of there. But that sarcophagus does not contain any treasure that you can see.
Okay.
I just feel a deep.
see.
I just feel like there's another hidden chamber here, in the same way that, like, when we helped, I never remember his name. It is wild how memory hold I am with Jacobus. Yes. Just like his sarcophagus had a special button, essentially. I think, or compartment that held additional things. I think there has to be either another room or another compartment in here.
If you guys are okay with the extra time, John, I will search that sarcophagus and that northern wall to see if there is. I mean, we're familiar with like the catches that have been around the edges of tombs before, also like the seams that they've been using to indicate hidden doorways, anything like that on that northern, I guess also on that kind of north eastern wall might be good.
Okay, so when you're checking around there, looking for the usual secret things on sarcophagus, what you do note, as you're sort of scuffing up the dust that remained around that sarcophagus, is when the floor itself is clear and you can see it clearly, you do see that there is actually signs of scuffing, as if a large object had been moved towards the east, directly in the path of the, like there's scuff marks directly adjoining. God, I can't speak. Directly adjacent to the sarcophagus, and seem to be moving, drawn towards the east.
As if the sarcophagus had moved?
Possibly.
Like I could maybe move it over. All right, yeah, I'll go to the side and try to give it a push to see if it'll push back in the direction that it came from.
So it does indeed move towards the east, surprisingly a lot easier than you anticipated.
Good, because I'm not super strong. Awesome.
Do you keep pushing?
And I do.
Okay, so you can move it. It looks like you could keep moving it if you wanted to, but you quickly can see as it moves out of its original position completely towards the east that directly in front of the wall, and what was the sarcophagus once covered, is a stone button built into the flagstone there, like a white marble, like a round cylindrical, like raised button right in the middle of the flagstone.
All right.
That's bait.
No.
Of course it is bait.
That's the next stage. That's where all the rest of his lounge furniture is hidden.
All right.
This was a false corpse, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah, like the extra. Guys, do you want to come back in first, or shall I just do this?
I mean, I'm happy to let you do it, but I think we should all proceed in one direction. So how do we want to go about doing that, if you all agree?
I mean, I think the only trick is Trefco and not fitting in the 10-foot bubble that Lisbeth has with everybody else. Mm-hmm. Do we? Oh man, he'd be really mad. Do we want to ask him to like squeeze back down that narrow hallway? Do we want him to come with us? What do you think, Mike?
Is there a way that, since we have a way to basically immobilize these statues so they can't hurt us, right? Is there a way to just permanently destroy them? Like, is there a way to put a loop around the neck of one and then have Trefko yank it until it like falls over? And then, you know, maybe we can destroy them and then we don't have to worry about it. And then he can come in and do whatever he wants to do, you know? I don't know. It's a risk. It's a risk, and it doesn't seem like there might be a huge reward, except that we have our giant hair monster with us for the rest of the adventure.
Yeah.
I mean, I would be personally in favor of avoiding the combat on the grounds that it's, you know,
Rolling dice.
It's rolling dice. It's you know, it's time we could be spending, you know, delving and then getting on to other things. But yeah, like it would clear up some concerns, but we can all fit in the 10-foot circle and get to Av. Maybe, and this is crazy, maybe he should just push the button, and if it's a disaster, we can run in there and save him. Or
it may disengage the statues, but yeah. We'll just push the button. Just push it.
Man, how can you resist pushing the button?
Just push the button.
Yeah, I'm gonna push the button, John.
Right.
John,
Okay.
I pushed the button.
You push the button. All right. You step on the button directly in the center of the northern wall, which would have been like right behind the sarcophagus. A stone section of that wall shunts to the side,
Yes.
revealing a narrow, dark corridor 5 feet across that is heading directly north.
all right.
How far north does it go, John, when I shine my light?
So it goes for 20 feet before it opens up into a slightly larger chamber. And your continual light glints off of a wealth of treasure that is piled up.
Exactly. That's what I thought. All right.
Yeah.
Oh, fucking right.
Nothing to see here, guys. Really nothing to see here. I'll come back later and clean up. Don't worry.
Very dusty,
One
of course,
thought,
like a big plume of dust comes out.
All right.
The only caution I would throw out there. Hey, there could be another. The real mummy could be in here. Yes, or a trap. So this might be the time in which we should back Avaricios up.
Yeah. So I think it's a good idea to call now. I guess we're gonna ask Trefko to stay back and guard, right? Because he's gonna have a hard time squeezing through this 5-foot thing.
He's okay with it.
We tell him to stay back and guard, and we give him the, you know.
Said he was okay with it.
Either of these two statues get out of line, you rip them apart, okay, Treff? Go.
John said he was okay with it. He'll just come with us.
Yeah.
No. I'm saying he's okay with being left behind.
I must. Okay. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so turn passes
before
in
we
order to search the
proceed-
sarcophagus. So it's now 11:30 a.m. You guys float in under the auspices of Jacques and the Proud. It goes to show that sometimes the heroes of the realm are actually worth something. But moving
I would
on.
like to go. Oh, sorry. I would.
You wound me.
I would like to go south, to the other sarcophagus, and using my Girdle of Giant Strength, especially kick that other one in the eastward direction as hard as I can.
Okay, yeah, it is actually pretty cool because you can act. So you could see that your toes actually hurt a little bit after you kick it because you're expecting it to move just as easily as the north one, but the south one appears to be just as solid as it looks. But your girdle, you are actually able to shunt it a couple feet with the kick. Does not reveal a button.
Okay. I'd be willing to bet there's something to the south, though.
I think there is. But should we look north first, or do you want to search the south?
No, we got to go north, man.
Okay, let's do the
There's
north.
a glint.
So before we enter that corridor, though, Titus steps up with the 10-foot pole, pokes the floor. We'll get down. We'll look for any, because we've seen a lot of pressure plates.
Mm-hmm.
We want to look at the ceiling and
Holes in
look
the
at
wall,
blocks that look like they're ready to fall. We're gonna proceed carefully down this 10-foot corridor with lots of trap checking.
Sure. So yeah, you're very careful. You're looking at all the right spots, and kind of that. You can confidently say that at least this 20-foot span of corridor, this tight corridor, seems to be fine. It's just very dusty.
Okay. So we should step the 10 feet in, double check the second 10 feet, and then not enter the room until we've checked that.
Okay, so when you get up to the end of the corridor, you can make out with Av's light what the dimensions of this treasure room are. This is obvious with what you're looking at that this is the secret treasure room. They were very, very paranoid about what they were doing with Ptoh-Ristus, apparently. So, but you've discovered it, which is great. So you are entering into a 10-foot north to south by 20-foot east to west small chamber. You are entering in on the southwestern side of the south wall. You got it. Yep. That's it.
Okay.
There does not appear to be any egress out of here, but that's not what you're looking for. Your eyes widen as you take in the vast amounts of treasure that are piled in here. The room is about 10 feet high. So just to give you a quick overview, generally you're looking at some delicately carved alabaster vases, a carved ebony box, a plain stone jar, a massive wooden chest, a solid silver ibis, a golden feather, some beautiful looking rings, a pair, some lovely looking, they're actually kind of stacked on top of each other, unfurled, a couple of decorative rugs, an illuminated parchment codex, and a tightly wrapped scroll in a tube.
You know, it'd be awesome if one of those was a flying rug and we could just go sailing around the chasm.
Yes.
That would be awesome. That's my wish, John. I wish for a flying rug.
Well, you just need that genie lamp to be in there too, but
Yeah, that would be good. Okay. That's a lot of treasure.
you have not stepped into the room. I'm just giving you an overview
Right.
of your eyes
Yes,
light upon.
yes.
Yeah, let's check the actual room for traps with the
Yep. So
again
first,
looking above, walls for holes, floor pressure plates. We've seen those, trip wires.
I'd say tripwire as we enter, anything like that.
You don't see anything.
I'll go ahead and with the 10-foot pole and start tapping the floor, maybe all around the edge of the doorway, tap the ceiling, just the works.
You want to be
Yep, got it. So you take a turn, but everything seems normal.
Before we touch any of the treasure, John, I want to get up real close and inspect it in the light and make sure there's not any substance on it, like smeared on it or anything like that.
Without stepping into the room?
Oh, no. We're stepping into the room. I step into the room.
You're stepping in the room. Okay. Breggy clambers forward, taking a good look at that treasure without actually touching it. It doesn't appear to be coated with anything nefarious.
Okay. Take the hilt. Oh, go ahead, David.
I just want to make sure there's no odor in the room. Any strange odors, or do we hear any like faint breezes or anything sort of like of that nature?
You
Like
don't.
airflow might be occurring?
You don't. The smells you're getting are what you would expect to be here, like mustiness,
Okay.
like a lot of old air. Yeah.
Okay. So
Now-
I'm just going to take the hilt of my sword and lightly tap on the alabaster urn to see if it's full or if it's empty.
Oh, the vase.
Yeah. Is there a cap? I mean, if there's no cap, I'll just look in it.
It doesn't actually say. So either way, though, you can determine that they are empty.
Okay.
Right. This is a lot of stuff. The stone jar. Does the stone jar have a lid?
That has a lid. Yeah.
Titus will check that.
Okay. So what do you? So you step into the room.
So he steps up, tapping the side. Like, can you hear anything in there? Does it rattle or moan?
Do we need to spike the door before any more of us come in?
Well, there's the door at the end of the hallway. Ooh, that's a good idea. Yeah,
Good idea.
good thinking, Reggie. Yeah, let's go back there and spike that open so that it can't close on us.
Okay. Take a spike away, someone.
You got a spike, Briggy?
Looking. It's been so long since I've looked at this character.
You have a bag you can pull.
I do. I have spikes.
Okay, take a spike away. You spike that door open. All right. So Titus, when you tap the stone jar, it does you can tell that there's liquid in it.
Liquid. How big is this jar? Like big enough to embalm a body, or like a little?
It's an organ jar for sure.
It's pretty big. It's like at least like an amphora. You know what I mean? That size.
Could you explain to the idiots in the room what an amphora is? Sorry.
A big Greek vase with
Greek
2
wine.
handles.
Okay.
But it's made with it's made out of stone, to be clear, not clay.
Right.
I totally knew that, David.
Probably,
for sure. Definitely not
about
me. I knew what it meant, but if anyone else,
It has to be even
10 liters or something.
you'll laugh, but I think the actual correct term is there is a bung in the top of it.
I won't laugh at the word bung. The word bung is a magical word. It's fantastic.
It's a great word for all kinds of things. So, all right. So, work the bung's in the top. Not like if I pop it out, it's not all going to start draining, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Okay. So, is it just like a cork or?
Yeah, I don't know what they would, but
Okay,
it's covered. Yeah.
Okay. So
my friend, just a moment of caution. A moment of caution. If there was a djinn of some sort, or just a very angry spirit of a hero whose corpse we just defiled, magically sealed in this thing, I'm down to open it. I just want to throw that out before we do, so we're prepared.
It is the most plain looking thing here. Everything else is is very beautiful. In one way, shape, or form, like obviously treasured. This is sort of sitting up against a wall, sort of forgotten.
sort of what caught my eye.
It is actually, now that I look at it, I think, well, no, the chest is probably the largest single item, but it's pretty big compared to the other stuff.
Oh, we're gonna check that chest.
I want to pop the bung out.
Yeah.
Okay, you pop it off, Titus, and immediately the smell of very, very old but preserved oil comes out of there. You can determine when you're looking at the level of it that there's probably enough oil in there for 20 flasks worth.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Is it scented, John? Is it like scented, like some sort of like ceremonial oil that they might burn in a lamp to create like an odor? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, I would say it probably is. Yeah, although I'll just say, Titus, because you're an experienced adventurer, that you can easily tell that it could definitely double as lantern oil. You would just have a nice it would smell like the Yankee Candle Shop.
It's not going to have like a protection.
Stress.
Yeah.
It's not going to have like a protection from evil effect or anything like that, though. Probably. So,
we don't know.
I'll fill my lantern with it. Yeah.
This is
protection from Ted's evil farts.
Hey, man, if this is the oil that Ptoh-Ristus used to burn in the original Thothian ceremonies, it might have some kind of, properties.
Yeah.
Very true.
I don't have an empty flask to load it with, but we could top up the lantern or something.
Do we? I
do want to remind you, Titus, that with my house rules for magic, that you can cast detect magic.
Oh, that's right. Wait, I can't actually cast spells yet, though, John.
Yeah, but it's not.
I can sense the aura, though. Is what you're saying?
Actually, I didn't determine that, but I think that probably makes more sense. Like, you wouldn't be able to cast detect magic until you actually were able to cast spells. I think that makes sense. Okay, so never mind.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Sorry.
Stupid demi-human.
How many spells?
Upior can do it.
Can Upior do it?
Upior can do it.
Indeed, Upior can. Yeah.
Upior will do anything. Come on, Upior.
I didn't want to steal his thunder. Of course.
I have no thunder except I have a bolt of lightning.
Magic.
So you must, if you're going to be using this version of it, like the kind that's like innate to arcane casters, like you must physically touch the subject.
That's fine. I'm going to put my whip in my bag.
And it takes a turn. So
that's fine. I'm going to put my whip in my bag, and I'm going to touch. When you say the subject, do you mean the oil itself or the
whatever
container?
you want to, whatever you're trying to detect that is magical, you must touch that thing.
I suspect that if there's magic, it's like a replenishing oil thing. It's sort of like the infinite fountain, but it's an infinite oil thing. But I could be wrong. But I'm gonna do the vessel, not the oil. Is that okay with you guys, or would you like the oil, not the vessel?
Do what you feel, man. It's your show, wizard. Get in there.
I would just point out that what John's saying is 1 turn per item.
Correct.
So, maybe this isn't the highest priority. There's a golden feather, for example, or a pair of rings.
One thing that
the Last Crusade taught me one thing. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, that's true. Last Crusade. Okay.
I was going to say, so Upior, you do Upior, you detect magic on anything you want. One of the things that catches Av's eye when they come in there, apart from the scrolls, is that there's this codex. And remember in the fresco that showed him with Arden and Vul, he was holding an ankh and a codex. And I wonder if that is possibly the same codex that we saw in the image of him between them. That might be very important. Okay.
Well,
Right. I'm just saying, like that. There's a picture of him standing with a codex and an ankh, and there's a codex here.
So
It may
where's the
just be like, I don't know if where's the ankh? We don't know.
I mean, it's a turn. It's a turn per detect. Per detect. Why don't I just do several detections while you guys busy yourself with other things? Does that make sense?
Yeah, like we can start emptying out the chest or exploring the chest while he's doing that. So
yeah, I think the silver ibis might be a holy symbol, perhaps.
It's 3 foot tall
Like a
statue.
sculpture.
Oh, it's a 3 foot tall one. Okay, yeah. I'm looking at our notes. All right, Matt, I do agree with that as well. Yeah, I'll do the codex first. Why not? Why don't I do detect magic on the codex?
You don't actually have the spell memorized to cast it the regular way, do you?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so you take a turn, and you're going to do it on the codex. The codex does not radiate magic.
One turn down.
Guys,
All
while
right.
we're poking around, I'm going to go help that kid. I'll be right back.
Okay. Actually, this is a good point, actually, to take our first break. So let's Matt do that, and we will refill our beers, and we will be right back. All right, we are back. Beers empty. No, bladders empty. Bladders are empty. Beers are full.
I think we should start using the inverse.
Yeah. When we were off camera, David just let me know real quick that Upior was going to spend an additional 3 turns casting Detect Magic on 3 different items. So he cast it on the stone jar itself, the oil within the jar, and the chest itself. Now, of course, you guys have 3 turns, the rest of you guys, to do other stuff, so I'm not forgetting about you, but I'm just going to fast forward to what Upior discovers. He discovers that no, all 3 of those things are non-magical. so there you go.
That helps out what I was going to
More you
suggest.
know.
Helps out because I was going to be like, let's have him do the chest first. So once we know it's not magically trapped, we can dick around with it while he is like casting Detect Magic on the other stuff.
Yes, it is not magically trapped. Correct.
Yes, not magically trapped.
We heard you, John. Hey, Breggy, what to open this chest for us?
Yeah, I'm gonna. I know I'm not a thief, so detecting treasure traps in that capacity, like poison needles and stuff, is not a thing.
Right.
But in the meantime,
I mean, it's a thing. You're just not as good at it as a thief.
Gotcha. But in the meantime, I am going to use my dwarven workmanship to inspect it. I want to look at the lock mechanism. I'm assuming there's a lock mechanism on the front. Is that true?
There is, yeah.
Okay. When I look at that lock mechanism, it just looks like it takes like a normal type of key.
It does, yeah. So the chest itself is a solid oak, like very, very well built, but primarily made out of wood. And then like the corners and the bind, everything's sort of strapped with metal. But yeah, it's a pretty fine make, not dwarven.
Don't we have Jacobus's keys? Didn't we get a set of keys from him?
We did. I don't have them.
I have it.
Okay. Oh.
Can I look while he's detecting magic on stuff? Can I look at those keys and see if any of them look like a matching metal to the lock or a similar shape to the hole without actually manipulating the lock?
If I see give me a gentle little kiss on my forehead first.
It does. It does not appear to be so, but in your inspection of the keys and looking at the keyhole specifically, you're fairly certain that chest is actually open.
Oh, even better. Everyone stand back.
Yeah, I'm backing down that hallway.
Stand back. John, I'm going to maneuver behind the chest.
Okay.
I'm going to tap on the floor before I do so that I don't fall into a pit. Okay.
Nothing.
And then I'm going to use my crowbar to get the front of the chest and lift it from behind.
Got it. Okay. So you do so, and it opens up Nothing untoward happens. It's very much like that shot in Pulp Fiction where you see Vince open up the suitcase, but from the back of it, so like it emanates like a golden glow. That's what you sort of see from your end, Breggy. Is like you see like a golden glow sort of emanate outwards from the chest.
Sweet. I found
You're
somebody's
so paranoid.
I found somebody's soul in that box. All right, I'm gonna look over the top and see what I see.
Yeah. So the rest of you guys see see Breggy's snaggletooth face like break out into a very big grin. I'm just assuming.
I had braces for 36 years. I am not snaggletooth.
You're perfect dwarven smile. Yeah, and there is a ton of ancient coinage in there. A lot. So you see ancient copper bits, ancient silver pennies, and ancient gold solidi.
Now, before I touch any of it, I'm going to do my little thing again where I want to look really carefully at the coins and make sure there's not like a contact poison on them.
Yeah, there's nothing. They appear to be genuine. Yeah, and there's nothing else in it, but it's just it's almost beautiful in its simplicity, right? It's just like piled with coins, like just absolutely bulging with them, you know.
The chest is too big to fit into Leryl's sack, right?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Is it too big for us to carry?
Yeah. I mean, no. I mean, if you use multiple people,
like 2 people could carry it.
I have a growth of giant strength.
So it requires at least 3 normal people to lift it. It can be dragged by 2 people, but dragging it will reduce your movement rate a lot. Trefko could carry it alone using 2 of his arms if he wanted to. And then there's Upior, of course.
So we could drag it out to Trefko and then have him pick it up and carry it home.
Yeah.
That seems like a pretty good
Upior in this manner is basically the same as Trefko. So Upior could, if he, doing nothing else, like he would have to take both hands, right? Could lift it up.
Okay. We need Trefko to carry the other chest though, too, right? So we have 2 massive coin chests to go through.
If you want the exact amounts, it would take, I'd say, 2 turns to count.
Do we want to count it later?
Well, we got to sit around and wait
while he's detect magic.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Yeah, let's count it.
Okay, so during the other 2 turns, you're going to count. Okay, so Upior is sort of moving about the room, sort of detecting things, and you guys are just like, you know, slowly counting all the coins out, and you're like, oh my god, this is great. So you have 3,333 ancient copper bits. Those bits are worth the total of 333 gold pieces. All right. So, and those, if you took them out of the chest, if you actually wanted to like take them out, they would take up 3 slots, right? Oh. The ancient silver pennies are basically, the way to think of the ancient silver pennies is that they are exactly equal to modern GP. So you have 2,222 ancient silver pennies, so that's worth 2,222 gold pieces. It would take up 22 slots to carry them all outside the chest. And then the stuff that you're waiting for, you find the very heavy, very large gold solidi, and there is 1,111 ancient gold solidi that is equivalent to 11,110 gold pieces, and it would take 111 slots to carry.
Oh, God, that's fire, guys. We just found like 1/8 of the gladiator school hall. That's
this is not bad. Not bad.
And if we let Elizabeth and Sam rot, we don't have to pay them out their share.
Hey, they can hear you.
On that note, actually,
right over there.
Elven tech, what can I tell you?
Yeah, yes. I have no knowledge as a player of what mummy rot does, but if it is a blood disease rather than a skin disease, might tourniqueting their legs above the wound.
It's a magic
idea. I mean,
it's magic. They've got it. There's only one way out of it.
Is it blood magic? I mean, I don't know.
I think it's a good point. I mean, I don't think
there's a difference between a blood poison and a nailed poison, in other words, right?
Yeah. I mean, I think the rules are pretty clear about how you get rid of mummy rot, and cutting off the limb or cutting off the
limb. I was about to say. I'm trying to do the gentler version of that. Yeah.
All right. So All told, with the detect magic and farting around with the chest, it's now 12:30 in the afternoon.
John,
How many
did it take? I'm sorry. Did it take all of us to count the coins, or could Avaricios take a look at those the scrolls in the scroll case?
I am going to say that during this span of time that it would take all of you to get it done that quickly.
Okay.
You can do it. You can do it now, though.
I would very much like to do that, please.
Okay, so you pull out the. There's a single parchment scroll in that tube, and you pull it out, and lo and behold, Avaricios, you can decipher it.
Hey, finally.
Two
This is the
spells.
first one ever, by the way, that Avaricios has found.
Should we burn it?
2 spells.
Speak with dead.
You find Hallow and Warding Chain of Glyphs.
Ooh,
Chain of glyphs.
We got 2 of those now. Ooh,
sounds super nasty.
it is.
Okay. While he's doing that, then Titus would like to inspect the rings.
Okay, Titus, on the rings. So the rings appear to be a pair. They're quite
Yeah.
beautiful. They are made. You mistook them for silver at first, then you see that they are actually made out of solid platinum, and they are set with rubies. And each ring is worth 1,250 gold pieces. Each of them.
All right, those get dropped in the pocket. Boink. No encumbrance for that, right?
Nope.
Yeah, cool. We're taking those.
They do not appear to have any wording on them.
Okay.
What about that golden feather, John? How big is that? Is that a little guy? Is that a great big thing?
It's a little bit bigger than like a typical. It looks like it's supposed to be resemble like an eagle feather. So
Okay.
it's quite large as it is, but then it's a little bit larger for drama's sake. And it's made out of solid gold, expertly made, and it's quite heavy, in other words, and it's worth 95 gold. It would be a slot because it's kind of
Okay.
big, relatively.
Okay.
Heavy,
You
heavy
just
more.
drop it in the chest and drag it along with everything else.
You could.
Yeah.
Maybe. I mean, we've already started putting some things into Laryl's sack, so we might as
Oh, yeah,
well.
sure.
Once you put
Sure.
anything in there, it takes 2 hands to carry. So
Yeah,
we
yeah.
should put the rest of these things that we can in there. How large are the rugs, John? Like, well, let me just ask this generally: between the other items that we see in here, which of them are small enough so that we could put in the sack? Like you know what I mean?
Yeah. You could put, I think, everything. You couldn't put the vases in. You couldn't put the stone jar in, but you could put the ebony box. You can't put the chest in, obviously. You could put the ebony box, the ibis, the feather, the rings, the rugs, if they rolled them up, the codex, and the scroll.
If
Okay.
we emptied there's so much solidite in there that we would be able to put those in the sack anyway, right?
Yeah, the chest is much more efficient, I think.
Yeah, you're right. Okay.
Sack. So yeah, we'll if it seems to make sense, guys, we can just put all that in Laryl's sack. I just need I can't carry it anymore because it takes 2 hands with all the stuff in it. So
I'll carry it.
okay, cool.
Okay, so let me just give you a quick rundown here. The 6 alabaster vases are delicate, so there's a chance of breaking if you kind of get into a fight or something like that. They are worth 100 gold each.
But they will not go in the sack.
They will not go in the sack. That's correct.
Okay.
Yeah. Well, you know what? They're vases. I'm kind of picturing them as amphorae, but they're not. So yeah, I think they could go in the sack.
Okay.
So there's 6 of those, 100 gold each. The box is the ebony box is very, very delicate. It's like looks like almost something that would belong in like a woman's vanity, right?
Uh-huh.
Like a little black box with like a little lid, like a jewelry box almost.
What's in it?
You open it up.
Not without giving it a little shake and inspecting it a little bit first and pointing it away from myself before opening.
You don't hear anything inside.
Uh-huh.
Or
Is there a little ballerina that springs up and starts spinning around?
Well, what I'm worried about is like some sort of, mechanical scarab poison scorpion thing, but yeah, I'll open it.
Okay, you open it up, and inside you see that it is stuffed with incense. Very old incense. So you think that the whole entire thing would be worth about 100 gold. Okay.
Okay.
The ibis is made out of solid silver, and it is 10 inches tall. It's not that big, but it is solid silver, and it is 50 gold. That would be a slot to carry if you want to keep it out.
Or put it in the sack.
Yep. The feather I told you was 95. Now, the rugs. The rugs are interesting. They are identical. They are 3
Two
feet.
of them?
Yeah, there's 2 of them. They're one stacked on top of the other. They are both 3 feet by 4 feet. And what they depict is exactly the same. They depict identical pictures of armored men charging on horseback. And then embroidered on the bottom edge of each rug is a word in Mithric that says Viator. Viator, which means traveler.
So
Ted, I think
I'm
you
going to
may be
cast
onto
detect
something.
magic on these rugs.
Okay.
I'll sit around for 10 minutes going like this.
So I'm going to take another turn there. Indeed, they radiate magic, both of them.
I'm going to stand on one and recite Viator. But here's what I'm going to do. Sorry. I think they could be teleportation instead of movement because there's 2 of them. So I'm going to move one 10 feet away from the other instead of stacked on top so I don't bisect myself in some terrible fly-like accent. And which would be cool and great for the stream, but I'd like to not die again. But and then I'm gonna look at the boys and channel in, I guess, Onweir and kind of give a wink and go, Viator.
Okay, you instantly wink out of existence and you appear on the other rug.
Nice. Oh my God.
Nice.
Wow.
Nailed it,
David,
David.
pulling that shit out of the ether, man. Nice job, dude.
So here's what we're gonna do for our treasure, boys. One of us is gonna run a rug back to base. And the other is going to have this, and we're just going to throw Chefco and every other fucking thing. So who wants to do that? I can volunteer happily.
No, I love it. Well, I should take Titus will do it. Titus will go back. He'll take a rug.
How big and encumbering are these rugs, John?
Each rug is rolled up is a slot.
I'm good for it.
Holy shit, guys. We just became like the crack ninja team.
Here's the problem. We cannot let any of these goblins see this. This is I want to emphasize this is in my opinion, and in all correct opinions, the single most valuable item in the entire game we found. This has changed the entire game loop. So there may be constraints.
Let's set up the other one in Mort's office. Here's my one thing, David. Putting it inside that pyramid where the rest of our stash is. Yes. Is a great idea, except what if it's a trans-dimensional space and you get into the weird thing with like trans-dimensional things inside of other trans-dimensional things and like you cross the streams and you just explode. So what
I have a great idea. I'll go test that out right now. Do you want to give me one of the rugs? I'll go instead of Ted. How about that?
Do we just put it inside Mort's office? And then the goblins are going to be like, why is everyone coming in and out of there? Like they just came out of that office.
I think it's dangerous for now to do it anywhere public for someone to catch us winking into existence, or a goblin could get drunk and go piss on the rug, and you don't know if that kills the magic. You know what I mean? Like,
we also don't know if there's a range.
Yeah, I think there probably is a range. Otherwise, I mean, put it this way, Ted, will you permit me to do a really quick A/B test of this rather than having you run? Is that okay?
If you want to do it, it's fine. You figured it out, so you should do whatever you want.
Matt, can I have your amulet so I don't get attacked by the statues?
Sure, but make sure we get it back because otherwise we are kind of fucked.
Yes. I'm going to go very short distance.
Can we bring all of this stuff back out into the other room? Because if you do implode and you've got the amulet with you, then we'd have to fight the statues to get out.
I'm just going to go to Trefco. I'm just going to go to Trefco so that we have a route from you guys to me and test it at a moderate distance. Is that fair?
Oh, yeah. In the hallway with the columns. That's perfect.
Yes. So that would be about 60 feet or 70 feet. It's a good test.
Probably 120 if there's a limit, but who knows? I'm going to go to that 60 odd feet.
I'd be surprised if there was that short of a limit. I mean, there's
Okay, so
We're gonna find out.
yeah.
so David, where are you exactly going?
Trefco is where exactly? Right at the secret door entrance
He's
here.
at the antechamber, John.
Yeah.
Like in the middle, like near those
Here?
columns.
Oh, here. Okay.
Yeah, he can't stand on that trapped area,
Yeah, that first
so he wouldn't be there. Yeah.
no bueno.
So you're just going into that
Jeff
room and
goes-
you're just putting a rug down.
Yeah.
I'm gonna throw the rug down here,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do it real quick. Command
Okay.
word it.
So you say Viator, and you
Mhm.
immediately appear back with the group.
Okay. Hey guys, give me some stuff. Yeah. I mean for that.
Well,
Yeah.
let's just pick the chest up, put it on there,
Yeah.
and somebody sits on the chest and try that.
Do we want to try to see if the command word will transport something without us being on the rug? We should. Let's put the chest on there,
Sure.
not myself. And can I recite Viator and see if it sends the chest forward, John? Absent myself.
You're going to say the word, but not while standing on the rug.
I'm going to put the chest on the rug, but I'm not going to stand on the rug. I'm going to say the command word, however.
Nothing happens.
Okay, so we have to be with it. Okay, that's good to know.
You might actually need to be carrying the chest. That would be
Yeah,
interesting.
you might
too.
lift it up. But you're
Why don't I
strong enough.
stand? Why don't I stand next? We should test this really quick. I don't want to kill too much time, guys. But
Right.
I want to
it's
stand
good.
next to it without touching the chest at all, John. But both of us on the rug.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to recite it again.
The chest remains. You pop into existence in the antechamber.
Perfect. Okay.
Okay.
I'm going to go. Well, treasure might not go through this rug. Is the key here, guys?
Then let
But
me
if you hold it,
stand on the rug and hold the chest
Yes.
and say it.
Do it.
Okay. So you pop back over, pick up the chest
No,
with your.
I'm okay.
He's
Fine, David.
following him.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, only David can pick up the chest, anyways. Only Upu or Trefco can.
That's why I was going to say, like, just hold it rather than pick it up, right? Just like hug it and see if it has to be picked
Okay.
up.
Are you doing that?
Yeah, that's what I wanted to do.
Okay, so Titus, you hold, grasping the chest while it's on the ground. Only you teleport to the antechamber.
Okay.
Now I'll pick it up. Do the same.
Everything goes.
Okay. Okay. So we can
This is
transport
science,
treasure, which
guys.
is important to know because it could be humanoid only, and that would be not as cool. So
We
this is
need to
great.
try 2 people at the same time.
Okay, let's hold hands though. Okay, so I'll come
Aw.
back. We should also, for John's sake, we should probably figure out a timing aspect of this. I mean, this is pretty quick. We're doing it, but is this a turn to test this, John?
I'm
What do
going
you
to count
think?
it as a turn. If you, yeah.
Okay.
I
So
wanna see if
I'm
you're
going to hold
turn.
Mort's hand and say, "Come, little
Oh.
man, go on a journey with me.
Mort's not there.
I can show you the."
I'm very excited about this. I think I saw this in a movie called The Fly. So I want to
Yeah,
see how this
Yeah, and
turns
we
out.
might truly get merged together. Do you
So
want
what
to
are you
try?
experimenting
I
with
would
now?
love to have fly powers. That would be amazing.
Are we recorporealizing or just transmitting? What do you think, Ted?
I don't know. John, we want to try 2 people at once.
Okay, let's do it.
So Titus is now in the antechamber with Trefco. And so is Upior with the chest.
You can reset or whatever you want to do, but
Yeah,
just
just-
tell me what you
Right,
want to do
okay,
with 2
okay,
people.
fine.
Yeah.
Hold hands.
So who are the 2 people?
Let's send the 2 retainers with zombie rot throw it together
Ooh.
and see if it cures them of the rot. If it reassembles
yeah,
them in
maybe.
a pure form.
A Star Trek
Platonic
teleporter.
ideal.
Do you tell
Yeah,
them
so-
to do you tell them to say the word at the same time or what?
I think they should
Yeah.
hold hands and recite the word at the same time. Yes.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3.
Okay.
Viator.
Lisbeth goes, Sam does not.
Ooh, interesting.
One at a time.
So one at a time, perhaps. Then if after Elizabeth disappears, can Sam try it again?
Sam goes when she says the word by
Okay,
herself.
so one at a time.
Okay.
We got this.
All right.
All right. So we got the mechanics down. How many turns for us to transport all of the treasure to Trefco is, I guess, the next thing we need to figure out. Beyond that little trap panel, I suppose.
Transfer to Trefco? Like, oh, you mean over to the antechamber?
Into
you
that
mean?
room. Yeah.
Over to the
Okay.
antechamber. Where I thought Trefco was in the antechamber.
Yeah,
Am I
he is.
confused?
Yeah. We're going
Okay.
into the antechamber.
Because he
the
can help
next
us
thing-
bury stuff.
I don't want
I'm
to
gonna
calculate
have him bury
everything,
stuff.
but I would say like going one at a time and taking everything like another turn. So 2 turns total for all this nonsense.
Now, do you want to do that, guys, or do you want me to just take the rug all the way to base?
Take the rug all the way to base.
Okay.
Because as in a straight line, if we're over by, actually, it is a lot closer to go to Mort's office in a straight line. It's like 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, 80. It's less than 150 feet.
I just think it's
Straight
dangerous
line.
to do it anywhere other than the secret
Let's
pyramid.
try it directly to our pyramid
All right.
and see if it works.
Okay, I know you're excited about the rugs, but I need to know, first of all, there's the book, which you haven't even looked at.
While they're doing all this, John, I'm going to read the book.
Okay, so the book is a codex. It has made out of vellum. It's written in Mithric, however.
I'm done reading the book.
Well, I'll be back soon, I guess. I mean, is it fair to say, John, that we have me run to the secret room and then we go through the rest of the loot in the secret room?
Yeah, the book is in the sack, so let's get out of here.
Calculate an amount of terms it would take for everyone to come to the secret room via.
Should we go get the other chest from the from Jacobus's lair and then take everything back at one time?
You just be aware that you don't see any other egresses in here, but you've only looked at the treasure. Is there anything else you want to do in the room?
I think there are other secret compartments, guys, but I would like to continue exploring at some point.
Yeah, there's definitely time. If we're gonna do this, send one runner. Maybe we send Trefco with you just to to keep you safe or whatever. But if we're gonna send a runner back to the transport spot back near our stash, then the rest of us can use that time to search this room thoroughly to see if there are any additional exits, additional secrets. That way we can kill two birds with one stone.
Agreed. And just to be super transparent with my intention here, the reason I wanted to go there quickly is we can empty out as many slots to continue adventuring in this room. Rather than be burdened and have to force the end of the sort of adventure cycle. Basically tossing stuff in the room, coming right back, continuing the adventure is my goal, if you guys agree.
No, I think that's smart. And here's the thing, we always keep one of these rugs with us. And the other one set up in the pyramid. So it just becomes like you can get down to the pyramid, teleport back to us, and then we can continue on.
If there's not a range limit. Yeah.
Okay, so you're setting up one rug here in the antechamber, and then is that correct?
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah.
And then Upior, you're going to take the other rug with you and run as fast as you possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
David,
except for the cephalopod room.
May I suggest two things? One, you can read Mithric. Maybe you should stay, because if we find something that's written in Mithric, you're more used than Titus. And two, I was going to switch Titus out anyway for if we get to the next phase, so he could just go back.
Sure. I'm fine with that.
And you can stay here and read Mithric if necessary. So if Trefco and Titus went back with the rug, then you're here to search in Mithric.
I'm totally fine with that. The one last suggestion I would make is that in increments, maybe a third, 2/3, 3/3 from here to the pyramid, that you test the rug again to see if there is a range limit. Does that make sense?
Smart.
So maybe you get to the cephalopod room, test it. After you get to the cephalopod room, test it. I
was going to suggest
near the mist,
right?
Yeah, or something like that. Just to do it, so we have a sense that if you hit like a stopping point, you're not backtracking all the way.
So here's the flaw to that sort of flaw. Like if I run to the trash room and I put it down and I teleport back to you guys, now one of our rugs is unattended.
Well, you're going to do it immediately. You're going to go boop, boop.
Well, I know. I'm just saying, like, it's a problem potentially, but more importantly, like we can't all teleport back because the last person has to bring the rug.
Yeah. But we're coming back to finish the adventure is what I'm saying. So we want to leave that rug where it says. What I'm saying is unless you guys disagree, I don't think we should get all our loot back to base and end on that note. I think we should get it so that we have inventory space to continue exploring.
Yeah.
At which point will you want that rug left?
Okay, so Titus, you're going to take it, right?
Yeah, Titus and Trefco will pick up a rug, and they will hoof it top speed back to the pyramid.
Okay, are you stopping in the cephalopod room?
I'm not stopping in the cephalopod room because that's crazy. It's full of cephalopods. But in that little corridor after the cephalopod room, between the two secret doors where it's very hidden, we could do it in there.
Okay, are you going to throw a torch to distract the cephalopods?
Great question, and the answer to that is I still have torches, so the answer is yes.
So mark one off.
Yep.
It does the job with the cephalopods. You move into the secret door. You're now in that narrow north-south secret chamber that leads back up to the mysteries. Do you do it there?
Yes.
Okay. You teleport. You guys are all happy to see that Titus pops back into existence.
30, 40, 50, 60. It's about 100 feet, maybe 90 feet.
When you appear back with Trefko looks very put out. Does not like to be in that narrow corridor, claustrophobic, without anybody. You left.
Sorry, Trefko. Sorry. Won't happen again. Come on, buddy.
All right, so you beat us past the magic mouths and into the mystery?
Yes.
The pyramid? Okay, so you move through. The goblins see that you're sort of rushing, and they see Trefko, so they kind of get out of the way and all that kind of stuff. But their normal patrols are there. Nothing seems to be out of sorts.
All right.
You get back into the green mist, climb up the pyramid, depress the plunger in the certain way that Onweird discovered, and you enter into the stash room, right?
Right.
The presence of what you now assume to be a Hecate statue is very unnerving as always, but all of your stash is mounted there.
All right. I'll put the rug down, and I'll say, Trefko, sorry, I got to leave you again for a second. Maybe. Keep an eye on things. And I'll say the word, and hopefully it's not too distant.
Okay. Your Trefko's grunt of disapproval is cut off as you disappear and pop back into existence with your friends.
Yes.
Perfect.
Beautiful, beautiful, guys.
I'll grab the stone jar full of oil and go back.
Okay, so is this the first step in transporting everything?
Yeah, I think we're just going to do everything all the way back.
Okay, so I'm going to say, let's say 3 turns. That sound okay for transporting all treasure back?
Yeah.
Okay.
While he was doing the run, though, John, can we search this room for any other secret compartments? Can we use that time for that?
Mm-hmm. You certainly can. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to light a torch, and I'm going to use it to try and find drafts along the base of the floors, like where the wall meets the floor, in all corners of the room. And if I find something, then I will focus my attention on there, and I'll give you more description on like what I'm going to look for.
That is very wily, Mr. Blackhood, because indeed your torch actually does flicker a little bit more than normal when you are investigating the eastern wall in the center of it.
Nice.
Okay.
Nice one, Mike.
I'll ask somebody to hold a torch for me, and then I'm going to kind of brush the dust away from the bottom. At the bottom, and I'm going to kind of look for a seam in the stonework, just kind of carefully using my fingers and tip of my beard as a brush.
Yeah, so you can find a seam. You can see like where the air is coming through, very, very slight, and then you feeling with your fingers around, you can make out the shape of like a door that's expertly hidden on made out of stone in the eastern wall. And then because of your dwarfiness as well, I'll say that you can easily tell that it opens by pushing on the left-hand side of that door.
Okay.
When you're looking at
room,
right?
Yeah.
Okay.
When you are looking at that left-hand side, like around like where you would grasp a knob or a handle or something like that, there's nothing there that looks like something to grasp. However, you do see that there is another seam that is just offset a little bit from the main jamb, right? Into the door a little bit. That is like lengthwise, like it goes up and down for about like a foot, right at around the place where a handle would be.
So as if like if I were to put pressure on it, it would turn into a handle. Maybe
it would be a real feat of engineering, but it's only because you were looking very, very carefully for seams that you see this other one that's sort of offset by about 6 inches from the left-hand side of the door frame itself.
Okay. Does that one seem like it's more hidden than the regular jam, the first one that I found?
Yes, it does.
As if the regular one might be a fake one, right?
The regular one looks. Well, you don't know. It looks normal to you. Like that jam, the outline looks like a normal door to you. The little offset foot length slot. The one thing that you can tell that's a little bit odd, other than the fact that of its existence, is that does not appear to cause your torch to flicker.
And the slot is only 12 inches or so, you said, not 28 inches?
Yeah, like lengthwise, right?
Okay.
Right.
Okay. John, I'm going to pull out my 10-foot pole and I'm going to put it together and I'm going to stand back and I'm going to use the chest as cover. And I'm going to use the 10-foot pole to try and apply pressure to the area where I think I need to in order to open the door.
Okay, cool. So yeah, you stand way back and you just push, right? Like that. That's kind of the motion you're doing, right?
Yep.
Yep. Okay. When you do that, you hear an audible click and a golden needle flips out of that slot. And you just see like a single drop of green goo just go bloop onto the ground.
So if you had pressed there, it would have
like
gotten
I
you.
didn't get hit. It just stuck out of the wall.
Yeah, just like it sprang and it's like out and quivering, and then like it off the end of its sharp end, it's like a little drop of poison drops to the ground.
All right, I'm going to use my 10-foot pole to hammer it flat,
Okay.
and then I'm going to try and push on the door again.
Okay, the door opens. When it opens, first of all, you feel a cool, airy breeze. One that you felt before. It's the chasm. You can't quite see it, but you can definitely feel it.
Nice.
Right. To the east, you see that there's a very narrow corridor, about 5 feet wide, and it goes for about 10 feet. And you see that it ends in what appears to be thick vegetation on the eastern side. Like a wall made out of vegetation, like climbing vines and crawlers and things like that.
Interesting.
That's weird. There's no light here, though, right?
No light.
Hey, John, interesting thing about druids, they can identify all plants and animals, as well as being able to discern pure water.
Mm-hmm.
Would Elizabeth know what these plants are?
Does Elizabeth? I assume Elizabeth goes up.
Yeah. She'd take a look. Plants? Why not?
Okay, yeah. So she can tell that they are crawlers and vines that are native to like underground. They tend to cling to walls and things like that.
But nothing that are like attack and like kill you and.
Nope.
Okay, no poison ivy.
Nope.
Weird.
Very cool. Very cool.
I'm going to try and push them aside with my 10-foot pole.
Okay, they a little bit of resistance, but they do move.
Okay, and darkness beyond or what?
Darkness beyond, yeah.
Is it like an abyss?
So do you go up to the edge?
Yeah, I'll go up to the edge.
Okay, so Breggy, after clearing it away, you move up, and indeed, you poke your head out, and the yawning abyss of the chasm presents itself to you in all of its glory and darkness. Right, you get immediate vertigo. You can tell that you are literally against like you're poking out from the wall of the chasm. And the vines aren't, I want to make it clear, are not like a weird thing. Like a lot of the chasm has these creepy crawly things. You've seen them before.
Okay.
Like you've used them before, like way back in the day with Dalton's Darlings. So it's darkness on either side of you, both to the north and to the south. And you definitely can't see across the chasm. You're assuming you're on the western side. However, there is to the north approximately about 50 to 60 feet up the chasm, towards the north of the chasm. You do see flickering light. And in that direction as well, echoing, you can hear the sound of goblins conversing. And you could swear that one of those echoing voices is Bottleneck himself.
Yup.
Ooh. That checks out.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Oh, that's very, very satisfying. Yes.
That's really cool.
Right on,
What a weird thing to build into a secret treasure room, though, and egress into the chasm. John, if I turn around and look at the secret door from this side, does it look like it's easily opened? Does it look like it was made to come from the chasm to the treasure room?
That's a good question. Give me a second. I think they actually have that in here.
The other question is, where you're standing, does it look like a broken off corridor? As in, does the tomb precede the chasm, or does the tomb post date the chasm? Because we found
Yeah.
that the chasm sort of somewhere in the middle of the existence of Arden Vul appears. Like there's.
So, Breggy, from this end, it looks like it's also very, very subtle. Probably a little bit more subtle from this end. So if someone, for whatever reason, was climbing along the side of the chasm and it managed to actually see, puncture through this concealed door on the chasm side, they would be presented with a short corridor with no egress.
All right, I'm gonna carefully put the vines back into their place to conceal the passageway.
Okay.
Wait, what does he see if he looks to the south?
Nothing. Darkness.
Nothing. So the edge of the chasm just trails on down.
Yeah.
Okay. Does anyone else want to search any other? That was the only secret place I found in that room, right? There's no other. It's not worth checking any other areas, John.
That's all you found.
Okay.
I
Guys,
still
are we
think
satisfied with that?
I think that's probably everything to the north. I still think that there's something betwixt the cephalopod room and the sarcophagus.
Yeah, that would make sense.
I don't know if the access point is from the sarcophagus, but that would make sense symmetry-wise. But
right,
I checked the sarcophagus. Maybe the easterly wall wraps around in sort of a serpentine way, or the westerly. I don't know.
David, one of the things we haven't checked out in any like specific detail is that mural with Arden and Vul and I can never remember his name.
Ptoh-Ristus.
Ptoh-Ristus. So that might be worth looking at. I know Avaricios would look, and in fact, John, I don't know what the spell Hallow does. Would Avaricios know, or is this like a mystery to him?
Yeah, it's a 4th level cleric spell. It infuses an object and its surroundings with the holy power of his or her deity. It involves a lengthy ritual. But when completed, the object, as well as an area around it described by a 60-foot radius circle, provides a palpable aura appropriate to the caster's alignment. That aura conveys a +2 bonus to any rolls made by those of that alignment to hit, saves, etc., and a concomitant -2 penalty to all rolls by those not of that alignment.
Okay.
Is it a permanent spell?
It's a permanent spell. Yeah, it hallows.
Ooh, that might be good at the bar.
Mm-hmm.
That's exactly what I was about to suggest. Yes.
Yeah. What a nice.
You're gonna alienate every chaotic goblin in that area. They're all going to come in and be like,
well, they can't attack me. That'd be great. They have a hard time if they change their mind.
We're playing alignment like super fast and loose. You know what I mean? So it's basically, Lysion is a trickster god, but is also a decently good god. Like you believe in normal, Western morals sort of thing. You know what I mean?
So things like not killing and not desecrating corpses.
What I'm saying, like, it's sort of like if it would not protect, it would not give a penalty to like Thoth worshippers, right, or things that were sacred to Thoth, but it would give that same penalty to Set worshippers. Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, I like that. I like that.
Just use your common sense. You know what I mean? Like Lysion's a basically decent god. Decent gods and followers of decent gods would be covered by the Hallow.
Okay. And speaking of being generally a decent guy, he feels kind of guilty about what he did in terms of desecrating this corpse. So he has bless prepared. Mm-hmm. So he would try to like put the lid back on the thing and cast bless on the remains of Ptoh-Ristus just to kind of atone for his thing. But, he would bless him in the name of Lysion and
Sure. So you gotta get the feeling that Lysion approves of this sort of extending his dominance over a sacred tomb to Thoth. He kind of likes that a lot.
One might call that a second desecration.
But that one feels good to you. All right. Speaking of which, we have the death mask. You just sort of chucked that into the bag, but don't forget about that lovely golden death mask. The death mask worn by Ptoh-Ristus. While you ponder, while we ponder, we will take our second break, and we will be right back. We are back. Bladders empty, beers full. I was going to say something before we got started again, and I completely forgot now. Oh well. All right. So, what do you guys do?
I was just going to point out before we get too much momentum, I agree completely with Matt's idea with the fresco in a secret. I just also want to like point out some other observations. I have a itchy feeling about where I'm pointing, which is the space between the bottom leftmost statue. Could also be a southerly tunnel, secret tunnel, if there's any sort of rhythm with the other three that we've already found within a 5 foot, 5 foot, 5 foot, 5 foot, 5 foot. It feels like there's a gap there. So I would want to look around that statue.
David, that just so you know, that red line indicates that between the columns and the wall, it's all pressure sensitive stone. Trapped.
Yeah, like all along the wall, both walls.
So if we touch it, it engages the statues, or we don't know.
We don't know.
There are holes. Yeah, there are holes in the wall.
Yeah,
and it looks like stuff will shoot out.
That's great. I still think we should test without doing that. I think we should test it while not facing that direction, perhaps.
Yeah, your symmetry thing makes sense, David. But just the entrance, we have to be cautious about finding it. Yeah,
100% agree. That's a good. Thank you for flagging that. I forgot what else I was going to say. Oh, the quip I was going to say is, I think necromancers get a speak to dead spell. So we may want to come back and talk to this fellow.
If you're a magic user, you have access to all spells.
No, of course. I'm just I'm checking my spell list real quick. I know Skull Speech is one of them, but I speak through the skull myself. Just checking, Speak with Dead is indeed a 2nd level spell that I have access to, which I hadn't thought about until now, because I'm all for a corpse desecration. But in the future, if we suspect we want to ask questions of these types, or if we suspect a persona is particularly valuable to us, that's worth weighing. That's not a scold by any means, Matt. I was about to do the same thing. Like I was going to do it if you didn't. So it just occurred to me now. So
just so we're not navel gazing too much. So you're continuing on with like transporting the treasure over to the thing. Upior, I'm going to assume that before you actually transport the book, that you take a look at it. The last piece of treasure that you have to worry about, it's called The Founder and His Deeds. Okay, it was written by a guy named Sabaf the Neophyte. But it is a lengthy, detailed account of the life and adventures of a person known as Gnaeus Ricturnus, an Archontian cleric of Thoth who took the name Ptoh-Ristus after he was ordered by the emperor to found a new temple of Thoth at the newly discovered Arden Vul. Okay. The text describes his humble origins, his service to Lord Thoth, his struggles against evil and the undead, and his eventual founding of the new temple at Arden Vul. There are long chapters that describe Ptoh-Ristus' travels with the legendary heroes Arden and Vul. The author, Sabaf, not surprisingly, plays up the role of Ptoh-Ristus as a participant in the 9th labor of Arden. Ptoh-Ristus is given a heroic role as the one who repulsed the hordes of undead, while Arden located a musical instrument with which she silenced the Aulos player, it's all related in the 9th labor itself. But just be aware that that's what it's describing. So he had an actual like normal name, Gnaeus Ricturnus, and then he was given the Thothian name of Ptoh-Ristus.
Well, and this becomes very interesting, I would say, because just as a use case, guys. Sorry, did I cut you off, John?
Nope.
Did you have more? Okay. Let's say, for instance, that the teleportation fire is reusable, and I were to say, take me to the tomb of Ptoh-Ristus. It may not work. But if I were to say, take me to the tomb of Gnaeus Ricturnus, it might. And so if there are true names and false names, false quote unquote, right? It may have value in terms of a number of things, that being one.
Sure.
Yeah.
So there's every indication here that that after Arden and Vul discovered the halls of Arden Vul underneath the cliff face, that when the news was brought back to the Empire of what was here, the Archontians naturally wanted, like the Emperor wanted it. And so they declared, they said to Ptoh-Ristus, since you were a companion and you were a devoted Thothite, you're going to be in charge of setting up the Temple of Thoth in Arden Vul. So basically, like this was way before the city was found or anything like that, but everything that you've experienced here, almost everything Archontian you've experienced down underground here, in one way, shape, or form, stems from the works of Ptoh-Ristus at one point. At least with regard to anything related to Thoth.
Can I ask two things? Number one, does the founding of the Temple of Thoth give any descriptions of like rooms or locations or things like that, or does that take a deeper dive into the book?
It's unfortunately you can look into it and can tell even without a deeper dive that it doesn't quite go into that. Unfortunately, that would be useful information. But it more just kind of it kind of extols him as like a legendary figure, so it doesn't go into the details of what the temple was at, the geography of the temple.
I had one more question, Ted, and then I'm done. Does it give any kind of indication of like what this was called? Because Arden Vul discovered this, but they didn't create it, right?
Mm-hmm.
They found this complex. What the hell was it called before then?
They didn't have a name for it.
Okay.
There's no indication in the book of what Arden Vul did down here or anything like that. It's just more about after they found it, what the emperor told Ptoh-Ristus to do.
Okay.
In parcel tongue, it's called.
Yeah.
Does the book mention the golden mask?
Yeah.
It does not.
Okay, and that actually was something I was going to bring up. In the depiction of him on the wall, is he wearing that mask?
No.
Or carrying it? Or
no, but his face, though, the depiction of his face does look remarkably like the mask.
Okay, it might be a death mask, but probably
not. While all this back and forth loading is going on, Avaricios, I'm imagining he's just kind of like holding the symbol to kind of like protect.
Mm-hmm.
I think he wants to put that mask on, guys.
Oh,
I think
shit.
It's right in the bag. It's really cool looking.
Okay.
I think he's going to put on the mask. I think he's going to.
You mean the Ptoh-Ristus mask of instant mummification? That mask?
No. The Ptoh-Ristus mask of instant awesomeness.
Do you? And I hesitate to mention it because I like the mystery. But do you want me to cast Detect Magic on this first, or do you want to go ride the lightning?
Just do it.
100%. It's absolutely magical, and it's going to be awesome.
All right.
No downside.
Okay, guys. One more thing. I'm sorry. Again, I'm not trying to kill the flow here, Matt. If this converts him into some sort of like possessed version of Ptoh-Ristus, like, right, he becomes like Ptoh-Ristus the Lich. You know what I mean? Like, and Avarice is his body. Be ready. That's all I'm saying. I got that rug ready. I'm standing on the rug, ready to say the word.
I think that's a best case scenario, man, because he sounds like a pretty powerful cleric.
No, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be awesome.
We'll swap Av out for a more powerful cleric.
Where are you standing, Avaricios, when you put it on?
I think he'd do it. Well, all the loot is kind of like in that hallway, right? Like in that antechamber. So I think he'd probably do it still like in view of the sarcophagus and the thing.
In the antechamber, though, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
And at this point, Titus has not yet made contact, right? He's still running back.
You're in the process of transferring stuff.
Yeah, because he's not that strong. He doesn't have. He's only got one hand. He's not doing a lot of stuff.
Okay. Okay, fine.
Okay, so you reverently set the death mask of Ptoh-Ristus upon your brow, and it covers over you instantly. Your senses change greatly. First of all, you can see beyond the light of your continual light, Avaricios. And you see heat signatures beyond that light.
Oh.
You have
That's
infravision,
weird. Okay.
infravision of 60 feet. Okay. In addition, I think that what you would sense where you are right now is that you feel much more intuitive and aware of your surroundings. Your wisdom is increased by 1.
Ooh.
That's what you get right now. But yeah, it feels overall. It feels very pleasant. Like, you know what I mean? Like it's all good, beneficial. Yeah.
More importantly, do I look cool?
You look very cool. You look a little scary.
Okay, that is what I was shooting for. Thank you. I'm like, hey guys, check me out, huh?
Can you take it off or no?
For the viewers out there, this is what it looks like. There you go.
So he's got a golden mask and a hook.
Yeah.
I look badass.
Yeah.
I am just curious, just readjust it, just like, does it come off?
It comes off. When it comes off, you feel like your senses dull.
Okay. Well, that sucks.
You
I put it right back on.
You lose the wisdom bonus if you take it off.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to put it on and look like a badass. Hey guys, check me out.
Yeah, it looks pretty. It
Awesome.
looks pretty awesome. It's very scary. I mean, if you've seen Excalibur, like Mordred was creepy as shit because he was wearing that mask.
When you look at that, do you see any secret doors on the walls?
You do not see secret doors on the wall.
Okay.
Awesome.
Dang it. So guys, let's get this rest of the loot back. I think we should get the other chest from Jacobus.
Oh,
And then we have all of this area more or less cleared out, and then we can have a clean slate to go and adventure.
I agree.
Yeah.
one last thing for Avaricios, I misspoke. When you have the death mask on and you look back at the secret door that that has the stone block trap above it, you can clearly see the outline of the secret door.
Oh,
yes, called it because it was called
yes,
Crucier. Oh, this is we are retreading every fucking inch of this dungeon.
Oh my god.
yes.
Okay, so Mike, what did you say the plan was here?
I would like to,
now.
I say once we get this treasure back, let's go get the chest that we left behind at Jacobus's, get that back via the rug. And then we have kind of a clean slate where we can kind of start again. To David's point, reset our gear, free up slots. And then, I don't know, guys, we have this staircase over in this area that we need to explore. We have the beastman that we can go talk to. And we have the whole western side of the complex to go explore too.
Yeah, you have the stairs down. Forgot about that.
Yeah.
You got the seat, right?
I do want Matt to check the rest of this room for my suspicion, just to make sure.
Yeah,
but I agree.
Yeah, with the holy symbol out to protect him from the statues, he'll go peek in that room, look all around just to make sure that he doesn't see any secret door outlines.
So, Avaricios, you can confirm that the only secret door in the antechamber is the one that you entered through.
He doesn't see one in the sarcophagus, does he? Does that count?
And then peeking into the tomb room itself, where the sarcophagi are, you see only the obvious outline of the northern one.
Okay. All right.
So it's a magic
item. If we crack open the sarcophagus,
it reveals secret doors you already know about. That's clearly what we're doing.
I love that. I'm being obsessive. Sorry. If we crack open the sarcophagus lid just one time and he looks in, nothing, right?
He doesn't see anything.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Amazing.
Oh, that was it, huh?
I wonder if it's through the first of those chambers and you go perpendicular. I'm fixated on something being there too, but
Breggy.
David, what if that blank area is filled in from the cephalopod room?
Yeah, that's what I was just wondering.
Or the like leftmost trap corridor where we got the first set of corpses could just jut out perpendicularly in the midst of it. I don't know. Anyway, sorry, Joe. Go
ahead. Always good to have a dwarf in the party. Because your knowledge of elevations and slopes and all that kind of stuff and your general sense of direction underground does give you a clue that you can tell the other party members, is that in the southern chamber that of the old halfling areas, which had the tunnel that was barricaded where it was buried between goblin and halfling territory, remember? That sloped down into a cavern before it actually dived all the way down to the wet caves. Wet caves. All right. And you had this map in your head basically of where things are in relation to each other, like only dwarves would probably have. And you can guess that where you are now when you're standing in the southern end of the tomb room itself, that likely just below you is that cavern where the goblins used to amass before they would attempt an assault on the halflings.
Okay. All right. So that's not really a blank space on that map then, David. That's filled in from another level, like another area. That's super handy, dude.
So I'm just giving you that as a dwarf
Yeah.
thing. I think that makes sense that you would be able to sense that.
Thank you. Yeah.
Cool. And now we don't have to kill ourselves trying to find the doors there.
Yeah. Cool. Yeah. Not to quash your investigation, David.
No,
but
I love that.
No, it's incredibly useful. You're not quashing anything.
Yeah.
I love that.
I never bothered to detail what that space looked like because when you decided to actually go down to the Goblin Halls, I kind of elided over that so you could just get down to kill it quick. But there is actually like a rather large cavern on this level that's just slightly below where you are now, before it actually dips all the way down the hundreds of feet down to the wet caves.
Right.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Yeah. And you would have been there. You've been back and forth like a couple times through there. So
A couple of times.
Yeah.
Right.
Can we retrieve the other chest, or do we have to run that gauntlet? We don't
have to go
I see
piece by
what-
piece,
why-
but we do it takes time and we have random encounters. Yeah. If you want to go for
we do have the rugs, and we do have. I mean, we're over here most of the way already. I think we should
We do it for sure. So we get all the loot moved. Titus is back. He's like, okay, there's a rug in the stash. Let's roll this one up and go get the chest. Right?
Okay.
Is
Are you going to
there-
go via the rope
Wait.
and the
No.
platform?
I think
go
that's a bad bet.
Well, okay, just hear me out.
Yep.
It is possible that there's a secret door that continues to the chapel, not the chapel room, the chorus room from this corridor. Like just bridges here. So it might be worth looking down the hall with the mask. More
Sure.
important. Before we go back around.
sure.
Careful to avoid that trap, of course.
Yeah, there's a pit trap there.
Oh, right.
I'm going to mark in red.
Yeah, I did not
Get rid of that.
as such. Sorry. We don't have to do that. This could be unnecessary. I mean, you can do that, but I said we don't have to check that out if y'all don't want to. Just keep it easy.
No, we might as well let's just not step on the pit trap.
Yeah,
Okay,
you know
so-
the other thing that might be worth just a quick dip is go north towards the glyph chair, just to look and see in that kind of northern or western hallway, just to see if anything pings with the dark vision and the.
Just because we're here already, I think it's worth using it rather than retreading later. Yeah.
Okay, so
Sure.
go down that corridor to the east. Did Trefco come back with you, by the way, Titus, or no?
Let's assume he did.
Okay, so Trefco's with you as well. That door, I believe the pinion door. I think that you had propped open, right?
No, we closed it again so that we didn't want people to.
You did
wander
close
over
it.
there.
Okay, so your mask does reveal the presence of that door, even though it appears flush with the wall. And then heading north, you do have both Titus and Breggy also have infravision, so it's nothing that they can't report to you as well, Avaricios. But looking north, nothing pings towards the seat.
All right.
What if you sit in the seat wearing that thing?
We can. I mean, we're right there. Do we want to take the time?
Sure. If you want to, dude.
I love that it's a divination or clairvoyance suit. Yeah, whatever you want to do.
I mean, we could do one. We could do one.
Yeah, I'm just saying if it might be different with the hat on. Who knows?
Okay. All
Like
right.
maybe this is where Ptoh-Ristus used to sit to commune directly with Thoth or something.
It's very
All
wise. I like this thinking. Yeah.
Okay. So wearing the mask to look. You're gonna look above just to make sure none of these cephalopods have snuck in there while we weren't looking, and then he'll, if it looks okay, he'll sit in the chair.
Okay.
I'm sure this is fine, guys. I'm sure this is fine.
Psychic damage. Roll D100.
Will Nutoy, you
Checking.
instantly die.
Below.
Okay. All right. So to be clear for those who weren't in attendance of that session, the chair is normal human size, made out of stone, but the glyph itself, to be clear, is a mimicry of a Rudishva glyph, but it looks like it's a crude imitation. It was not made by Rudishva hands. Okay. So you place your butt onto that, and another butt starts to glow. So make roll me a D10, please.
A D10. Okay. That's 10.
A 10. Okay. All right. Avaricios, nothing seems to be different by wearing the mask. However, you do receive the exact, very strange and nauseous sort of vision that who was it before? It was Lothar.
It was Lothar.
Lothar,
Yeah. Of the horn in the Great Hall, whisking through it, and then seeing that strange room. Oh, okay. Hold on. The mask.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
Huh?
So give me a second here. Actually, this is interesting. So yeah, you go through the. So okay, first of all, you remember how it presented like the bell of the horn in the vision.
Okay.
The first thing that's different is that you see that there is a clear secret door behind that bell of that horn on that wall. Okay, you see that.
Nice.
Okay, and yeah, and then you're sort of like magically sort of transported into the bell, and it seems very odd. It's like beyond time and space sort of thing, and you kind of get whisked through, 2001 Act 3 sort of style, and you and then you're deposited into this room. Give me a second. Got to find it here, because yeah, you're gonna see some shit here too. So you have the room with the sarcophagus in the center, and then you see that that there is a sorry, wasn't expecting this. Just let me look real quick. To the west, where you saw that there was like a shimmering, Lothar saw there was like a shimmering on the western wall. You can clearly see that that is an illusion, and that there is something beyond it, more of the room beyond. And it appears that there is, beyond that western wall, there is another sarcophagus that was resting behind an illusion. Okay?
Sweet.
So in the center of the room that you're looking in right now is like a simple granite sarcophagus, it crowded with like grave goods and stuff like that. And then Lothar, who had just seen like that sort of shimmering wall on the western wall, you can see right through it, and you can see that there is another sarcophagus beyond that wall.
Okay.
Okay.
Can I can't remember if he succeeded in this or not. Can I will myself any further through that? Can I will myself through that illusion into that?
You cannot. You're like a surveillance camera.
Okay, I'm picked. I'm fixed. I have to look around.
But you yourself also witness the gisant on the top of that granite sarcophagus in the center of the room that depicts a woman who has a clear depiction of what you have surmised is the iron circlet of Gonor.
And that's on the first sarcophagus, or the one behind the
on the first
illusion?
sarcophagus, yeah.
Okay.
The one that was readily apparent.
And the farther one behind the illusion, is that one plain? Is that one decorated? Can I see any detail on that?
Good question. Let me check. Let's see.
So glad we sat down.
Right?
Great idea.
So
Now,
I'm sorry. Oh, I misspoke, actually. I'm sorry. So, yeah. So the one that you're in has a large basalt sarcophagus on top of a 2-foot dais. And there is a... do you speak Mithric, Avaricios?
I don't. No.
You don't? Okay, so there is a Mithric phrase on
Blasphemous
there.
language.
Lothar saw it as well.
Yeah.
Did you see... But you can't read it either, Lothar, right?
Lothar can.
Did I translate that for you?
You translated it as a name or something like that. I don't remember what it was, though.
But I did give it to you, right? I just want to...
Yeah, I think so.
Okay,
Yeah.
so it said Neferet, beloved of Thoth, seeker of truth, preserver of secrets.
Yep, you told us that before.
Yeah, okay, good. And so, I'm sorry, so the one that's beyond the illusory wall, Matt, is the one that is a simple granite sarcophagus, much more simple than the one in the middle of the room. And it itself is crowded with grave goods around it, where the main chamber that you're in didn't have anything in it besides just a sarcophagus. But,
Okay.
but there's a lot of grave goods. There's like delicate gilt chairs. There's a settee. There's several ankhs on the end of poles. There's a what looks to be like a net made out of gold mesh, and a whole bunch of alabaster and jet canopic jars.
Awesome.
There's your organ jars. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Nice.
Awesome. Awesome.
Obviously, I share this with everyone. Wow, this is really interesting, guys. We've got to go through that. This is a definite thing to do.
Yeah, new plan, guys.
Okay, so we have 15 minutes left. Do you want to stay focused on the other chest?
Yeah, let's empty that chest. Let's just do it. Get it off the list.
Okay, so you're not going to go to the platform or the rope, or are you going to investigate that
I
first?
think we backtrack and work our way around the safe way.
Yeah, let's go around the safe way.
I do too, because we might see secret doors on the way. So.
Yep.
Are you being careful?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're moving at 90, I assume. So let's meet 9.
Tap, tap.
I'm gonna rough it here. 1, 2, 3. Let's say about 5 turns to get all the way back to the tomb. Give me 1 second, and I gotta make a little something for a second. Give me a sec.
Nah, that's fine.
Okay, so you go all the way past the chapter house, through that little corridor to the north of that big chair. Don't forget too that remember that there's that huge chair that had the secret entrance in the back of it that led into Jacobus's actual chambers, not his tomb, but his chambers where Upior first met him. Right. You never investigated that room.
We should. Especially with this math.
You only read the parchment that he was like indicating that he was sort of leaning over at that time. Remember? So I just want to point that out that room has gone thoroughly unexplored. But assuming that you're going to focus on the chest, just write down the fact that you haven't investigated that room. You go through the nondescript storage chamber and into the tomb itself. Sarcophagi are scattered all over the place. It's still hard going and all that kind of good stuff. The air from the chasm has cleared out the room a little bit. And yeah, your chest is still there in that secret chamber.
Cool. So I think we should drop the rug there. No. But I think we should drop the rug, transport the chest, open it later, and I think we should check this area for secrets and then go to Jacobus's study and finish.
I definitely want to finish in Jacobus's study, but why don't we just open this chest so that we can get the XP for it?
I agree. Right? It's just we have 15 minutes, so I was thinking if it's a lot of stuff, that might be our 15. But yeah, go for it. Yeah.
No, but I mean, we can just open it the same way. It doesn't change how we transport it. So, John, I'm going to do the same trick that I did with the last one. First of all, do any of the keys from Jacobus's key ring fit this chest?
Is it locked?
Hold on 1 second. I gotta actually find it.
I think it's I want to say 184.
181 or 184, I think, something like that.
Hold on. Where is his chest? Oh, here it is. Yeah. Okay. Sorry, Mike. What did you say you were doing with it?
I kind of want to do the same thing that I did with the last chest, John. First of all, I want to check and see if Jacobus's keys fit the lock.
Yeah. Okay. So you can tell, looking at the keys, that there is indeed a key that opens this chest.
Okay.
Without putting the key into the lock.
Okay. There's also the possibility, guys, where if you turn it the wrong way, the poison needle comes out and gets you, kind of thing. John, do you remember way back when we did this weird thing with the key where we kind of put a stick through the hole and we turned it like this so that, we didn't have to have our fingers on the key when we turned it?
Yeah.
Is that possible to do that here too?
Sure. Yeah.
Oh, you know what? We could also pull out a thick glove from the sack, like a really thick leather glove to protect you.
I would also throw this out there. If we, upon saving his soul, putting him to rest, he was benevolent enough to show us the secret compartment on his sarcophagus, I think he would have shown us the trap on his chest. But too much caution, is never. Yeah. There's never too much caution, rather. So
I'll take the big thick leather glove from Matt, and I'll open the chest. I'll turn it to the right.
Okay, it fits, and you hear it click. And indeed, a needle pops out, stabs your glove, but your glove saves you.
Damn!
Thanks,
come on, man, we saved you.
You're welcome, Braggy. You're welcome.
Try turning it the other way, John. Does that?
It doesn't turn the other way.
Okay. Keep turning it. Does it?
It opens like after the needle comes out, it opens. Yeah,
that's a big trap. That's
you.
big trap.
Well, he's not. When he put it in there, he wasn't looking out for you guys. He or whoever put it in there. Anyways, opens up. You get another dose, the same within a couple of hours of a huge fucking amount of coins.
Yes.
My dwarven heart is so warm right now.
There is a massive amount. There is 6,876 copper bits. That's 688 gold pieces worth, 6 slots. There is 3,397 ancient silver pennies, which is exactly that same amount in modern GP, 33 slots. And then gold solidi, there is 1,349. That's 13,490 gold pieces, 134 slots.
We found like 30,000 GP worth of shit today, guys. This is like just good job.
The exact same encumbrance issues with this chest as the first one.
I think our the better part of Valor and our future would be to start a adventure VC firm where we seed fund fools to their early grave.
Actually,
Okay. Knowing that, do you transport the chest over to the stash?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
And guys, if we find out the range limit on these rugs, we could get someone who the dragon doesn't hate, could take it all the way back to Gosterwick, and we could get out of Arden Vul by rug.
I totally agree.
Oh man.
I mean, the thing is, we can do that down, and I mean, there's so many places. We could use the fire portal, which is what I want to do, to go somewhere really. We could say,
this is a lot of conjecture. So
let's go explore Jacobus's special chambers.
Okay, so treasure has been transported. You backtrack out to the chapter house and then move through the back of the large chair to get to Jacobus's study, correct?
Yes.
Okay. His study, it's been a while since you've been in there. It's decorated with impressive frescoes of previous priors, all dressed in ceremonial robes and cylindrical hats, but each subtly different. Some are thin, some are heavy, some are dark, some are fair. Basically, these are not like worthies. These are really actually depictions of what appears to be this small sect of this collegiate chapter house that was in the previous room. That the prior Jacobus was like the last one, right? There are 52 such images. There are empty spaces for 2 more future priors. The last image is of an extremely short, heavy-featured older man with silver hair and eyes. That is Jacobus himself. And the chamber contains a marble pedestal with a copper bowl, now filled with dust, a cherrywood desk with 1 drawer, a stool, a small cabinet for scrolls, a small armoire, and a camp bed made of carved ebony. On the desk was a sheaf of parchments, and that's where you saw the plans for the tomb complex. And it said Tomb of Jacobus, 52nd Claustral Prior of the Chapter of Thoth. That's all that's worth noting on the desk, as far as the parchments go. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm lying. There's also that's all that's interest of the parchments that are on the desk. The desk itself also has a silver letter opener, which is worth 15 gold pieces, a bronze inkwell, which is worth 10 silver, a very fancy stylus, which is worth 5 silver, and a signet ring, a gold and opal signet ring, which is worth 100 gold. Okay, the armoire is shut.
Is that signet ring emblazoned with Jacobus's or a holy seal that we might use with wax in the future, gentlemen, to do some forgery?
It doesn't indicate. What I would probably say is it probably would have the symbol of the collegiate chapter on it, so it would be recognizable as a symbol of Thoth, but very indicative of this particular sect.
I think there's value in us keeping that and noting that, because Wick Trimmer would love to pretend to be a part of the clergy, et cetera, right? Like, if we get creative, I think there's something there, guys.
Cool.
All right, so do you open the armoire?
Yeah, we should open that, but we should, be very careful. He seems like a very trapsy kind of guy.
We did not see any secret doors, just to clarify, with the mask.
You only saw the secret door that's at the back of the big chair.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I could just. There's nothing that will catch you here, so I'll just give you the lowdown. So the armoire has 2 full sets of ceremonial robes for the cult of Thoth, like the real deal, right?
Mm-hmm.
Nothing. So those are legit. They come complete with cylindrical hats. Let's see. Then there's a scroll cabinet. There is a bunch of very boring, mundane administrative and financial records of the collegiate chapter in there as well. All within 50 scrolls that are bound with silk ribbons. There is a single quire that contains one of the deeds of Ptoh the Westron, which is interesting. Anyone here Thorkin?
I am a dwarf.
North Thorkins.
No, but
I think you want Wolford for that. Wait, Lisbeth might be.
Wait, Sam.
So it's okay.
Sam speaks Thorkin.
It's not that it's in Thorkin. It's just that it describes Ptoh the Westron was an ancient Thorkin warrior who was famed for his heroic martial exploits. And similar to like Laryl, the boundaries between reality and legend are fairly blurry. Let's see. So he's known to have like a bunch of different stories, like Hercules into this and Hercules into that, right? That this is the same thing with Ptoh. Let's see. I'm going to roll a die here. 6. Okay. So this squire tells the story of Ptoh and the Rock's Egg, and it's about him delivering. He climbs up to a nest of a giant rock and manages to steal its egg and bring it back to the Archon of Arden Vul. A sort of story.
Cool.
So yeah, it's just like an entertaining read basically. And let's see. Sorry, give me a sec. And then rolled up inside one of the boring scrolls, you find a sketch map of a certain area. Oh, yes.
Certain area we recognize, or
you very well might. It depends on what you think about it. Give me 1 second to find it here. We can end it on this.
You gonna post a picture on the Miro or something?
I sure am. Give me 1 second.
Cool.
Fortunately, since we're not paid members of Miro, I can't hide images and then reveal them. I have to actually bring them in when I need them. So give me 1 second. This is... Oh, here it is. Okay. So we're going to... sorry, listeners. I'm going to post it to underneath the helmet.
Cool.
I just moved the helmet.
Yeah, just leave it there, and I'm going to post it right there.
Okay, cool.
Spear and magic helmets.
Oh,
oh, we know that place.
Interesting.
I've been talking with mute on. I see a big staircase. I also see a lot of rubble, perhaps, blocking the way, but
that's our favorite tentacles room, David.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys, I just had a crazy thought.
Again?
It's a bit of a tangent. I bet you can roll up a rug and put it through the aperture of a mechanical door if we can't get it open. I mean, I think we have the key card, but like, think about all the tight passages now that we can go.
So this map is it's not as pretty as this one. It's like a sketch map, basically, similar to the one that you found of the tomb complex.
Wow.
But interestingly enough, it seems to have been drawn by the same hand, and it was curled up and inserted inside another scroll case that was just like a boring, mundane administrative record, as if it was meant not to be found.
Do we think that he might have been a secret Setite?
I don't know.
I don't know. That's like we suspected that went to the Setite area,
So
right? Oh no, it was just defaced by the Setites. Sorry.
Much
That's
later.
correct. Yeah.
Later.
So that was the room that you're depicting, like the tentacle monster chamber that you have been in a long time ago. That was definitely, without a doubt, a temple to Thoth that was heavily desecrated by Set.
God bless. Yeah. Sorry, I mistook that. For
No,
a
it's
second.
okay. It's a long time ago.
I see that my my drawing isn't too bad. My version of the map.
Oh, I should
Not
go
quite
check
right,
my speculation one and see, but that's fun.
Yeah, you did a good job, Ted.
Dude,
Yeah, so
good job.
that's the deal. So don't, you got a little bit of extra map stuff there that you can feast on for a little while.
Awesome.
Let me just double check. We're at the end here, but I'm pretty sure that's it in this room. Yes, that is it. Okay.
Gosh.
So there's a copper bowl. I think we should take that. If nothing else, we can wash our hands in it.
Do you want to end the session here in this room, or do you want to transport back to the stash?
We can't
Well-
actually transport back to the stash without leaving the rug here.
Yeah, so
Right.
we should stay here.
Okay,
Yeah,
stay
well-
here. You do not get the XP.
Let's run back to the stash.
Yeah, we're
Everybody
going back to the
Yeah, we
stash.
can run
Together.
it with okay, sure.
Yeah.
Well, I was going to say, just to metagame a little bit, Titus is going to lose XP big time because he hasn't properly leveled up from last session. If he went back first and then you guys came back later, that would alleviate that, I guess. But
Yeah, it's true, actually. Yeah, it's a little
but
weird.
whatever. I would like to steal that camp bed too, because that'll look nice in Mort's office.
It's true. It's an ebony. It's a carved ebony canvas.
Jeez.
Yeah, man.
Mike, can you believe this guy? Can you believe this guy?
I can. I've
Right.
seen this before.
This is actually kind of
I know we both
Tracks.
have for about a decade.
I don't want to drag it out too much, but those meta considerations are a thing. So I do need to know, like, where do you want to actually end?
Why don't we just leave Titus here to guard the rug? We'll go back and level up.
I mean, guys, why don't
It's a
we
terrible
don't just start? We
You'll be
can also
fine.
start the next session and do the exact same thing. It's kind of immaterial, isn't it?
Or,
We
or
just gain-
Titus just goes back with all this stuff that we're taking, whatever. He just goes back and he ends the session at the debouchement, and you guys stay here.
Sorry, I'm
I'm
confused.
going
now. What's
back
the
too.
goal? What's the goal
Yeah,
for
I don't
Titus?
understand.
Okay,
I'm
so
I'm so
if
confused.
all of this, no, never mind. That doesn't matter. That
Is
doesn't work
Titus trying to get all of the XP from the session? Because I'm going to stab him in the neck right now.
No, that's not what I was trying to do.
What he's worried about is there's so much XP coming.
Cast marionette. yeah.
Titus is already like supposed to be at level 2, so he needs to like go and rest in order to get that level, because he doesn't want to bring out all that massive amount of XP you're about to get and then have it all be wasted, which it would
I'm
be.
only
also be
1,000
true.
away from
That
my
may
next
also be
level.
true of Upior.
It is true
I
of
just
Upior.
haven't checked.
Yes,
so it's
it
true
is.
of both of us. It's been weeks since I was part of the game, so I got to remember.
So
Then
both
let's
of-
stay here. Then 2 of us aren't going to level up.
okay.
Yeah,
Right?
that'll be the problem whenever we come back, unless you're going to sleep
Exactly.
here.
Unless
Yeah.
we're
You could
resting
sleep here. It's safe to sleep here.
You could
Well,
sleep here and
fine.
level up.
It's a secret
rest
chamber. We can
here.
sleep here and level up.
Rest
Okay,
here
that's
and
what
then
we're
go
doing.
back to
There's a bunk right there, and I'm taking it before Titus can.
This is a very safe area. You're behind a secret door.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's do that. Okay, there we
do
go.
that.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, so
Cool.
you're going to rest here then. Do you want to rest like starting at nighttime, or do you want to start
No.
like resting like right
we
now?
can do that. We can do that. But my one question is we have no idea what the impact will be for Sam and for Lisbeth.
But guys, we have to rest. Like the next thing that Avarisos can try, he can try curing disease. Like he can magically cure magic diseases after we rest, but he's got to rest to be able to do it. He doesn't have it prepared.
So let's
So-
just rest
How
right
many
now.
can you have, Matt?
I can do it twice.
And what about remove curse? Can you get that?
What level is remove curse? I don't remember.
It might be too high.
Because I
ask?
have a sinking suspicion that it might require a remove curse to cure them.
Can I ask one question before we go, or in relation to this, because I wasn't present? Both of them were attacked. Both of them contracted it on both legs or one leg.
I think
One leg.
legs are immaterial. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, because
So-
we could suggest cutting it off if it's really going to get bad, and they could still. I'm not joking. I mean, like brass tacks, peg leg is better than no leg, right? Like so.
That might be a good subject for the detox.
Yeah, well,
Yeah.
we can
As-
work out the details, but
Yeah.
Yeah,
so
either
I
way,
mean,
we're gonna have to rest
because
to do it.
the reason I brought it up is because we would have to discuss that with them in game. before we went to bed. If
well, that's true.
If 8 hours is going to progress it and it's going to be torso deep, if it's spatial in that way, then we have to do that now. Is what I'm getting at.
John, it's been about 3 hours or so since that happened. Do they look visibly worse? Are they noticeably?
No, the infection seems to be localized to the scratch marks right now.
Okay,
Does not seem to have progressed that far. They seem to be, they don't feel great, and you see them sort of itching it and looking at it and being worried, but they're so taken with the amount of treasure that you guys have gotten that they're in fairly good spirits, actually.
Okay.
But
they're safely sleep.
They're worried. They're not happy about it. Like they know it's no good.
I don't think. Yeah. I just
right,
want to make sure they wouldn't be husked in the morning. So cool, great.
Okay,
Let's
so
sleep here.
you'll sleep. And we'll pick it up next time, and then everyone will level, and then we'll figure out XP once you actually get the shit, when you're back to the safe haven with it. Yeah.
Perfect.
Actually, I think it'll be fine because you'll rest here, you'll get your levels that you were due, but the treasure has already been brought back to the safe haven, so you will actually get that XP as well, even though you're right here. So,
well, then there's no point in waiting for them to, like, there's no point in camping here then.
Well, we don't get the.
We've already returned it to the safe haven.
It depends on how John wants to do it. But it's a detox thing, sure.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. We'll leave it there. Okay. Great session, guys. Very, very fun. Okay, so that'll do it for this time. So you've been watching 3D6 Down the Line. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. Hit the bell notifications. Make sure you get notified every time we post a new video. Don't forget to sign up for the Patreon if you have the wherewithal. You get lots of cool little bennies and access to some of our exclusive Discord channels on our server. But the Discord channel is actually available to the public, and we have lots of really fun and great people there discussing things at all hours of the day. So please go and check that out. Thank you, as always, to all of our patrons, both of our explorers, delvers, and of course our conqueror tier levels. Ted, take it away with the conquerors.
Okay, well, everyone, we have a new conqueror this week, Ruben D. Caller. Thank you, Ruben, for joining, and thank you to all of our other conquerors. We thank you individually and collectively and by name, and those names are Dave Rosser Jr., Andrew, Hannes Björnkamera, Dakota Nielsen, Horace Ophos.
I'm going with Horace of Oz.
Horace of Oz. That sounds way better. Sorry, Horace. All right.
You pay extra to be pronounced poorly, you know. This is the 3D6 experience.
Cam, Stephen Q, Brad and Aiden, the Logan family. We got another one. Is it Kobrowskis or Cobra Euskis?
I think Kobrowskis.
Kobrowskis.
Come on, man.
Louise.
This is tragic. This is tragic.
How much did you drink tonight?
Embarrassing.
Oh, enough.
Yeah.
Declan Koneski, Chad Cartier, Magic Meat Machine, Tom Leary, Phil, G Tokyo Time. Sorry, it's just killing me. Terry Barney, Eric Lawson, Mando NZ, Faisal, James Doig, Nefarious Gamer, Grunt, Andrew Schroker, MM, Michael Schilling, Stefano DiMaiolo, the Hexbrawler Twins, Summon Toast, Adam the DM, Jib Cutter, Scott Yearsley, Mech Jack, Kick Maniac, Dire Grew, Not Matt, but not least, and the Matts, Matt Mason, Matt Gardner, Matt Koenig, and Matt Young. Thank you, everybody.
Thanks so much, everyone. Everyone have a great week, and we will see you next time. Bye now.
Thanks. Thank you, John.
John.